Transition here into some statements. Mackie and Judd, daily Minnesota sports entertainment. We just want titles. We did a full dive there into the latest Twins trade rumors. But that's not the only reason why this week is exciting. I'd love to start you guys off with a Viking statement.
Bring it on.
He froze a little bit. Here's what we're going to do. Phil froze there a little bit. He had a Viking statement to start there, Judd Zulgad. So you know what? I have a Viking statement as well because, this might be the Mackie and Judd show, and it's, quote unquote, your show. But, I do elevate you guys. I lift up the
no
offense.
question about it.
The circumstances around Kirk Cousins, they have to be perfect. I'm kind of in that situation. You guys need the circumstances around me to make this show get to the next level and get us titles. So,
all right, let's hear it.
My first statement on the Minnesota Vikings. So they got Dede Westbrook over this weekend, a third wide receiver, and this is not going to be a Chad Beebe bashing, by the way. A lot of people could think this is a Chad Beebe bashing. No, it is time to cook, baby. That is my opening statement. It is time to cook with this offense. Justin Jefferson, Adam Thielen, Dalvin Cook, Irv Smith Jr., now Dede Westbrook come into the fold. And I know that third wide receivers have come and gone here before, Judd. We've seen, I forget who's the guy from the Bears they brought in like 3 years ago who then got cut out of camp. Sometimes these third wide receiver guys don't make the bigger difference than you think they should.
Absolutely.
But I think with Westbrook coming in and him working with Keenan McCardell before in Jacksonville, you now have like a legitimate third wide receiver where if there's even an injury maybe to Thielen, who has missed some time over the last few years, or you do lose Justin Jefferson, you have Dede Westbrook to step back in. This offense is still run first heavy. It's still a little bit in the Stone Ages because we want it to be pass heavy. But I do think that this offense is now ready to cook, and I'm excited to see what it does.
So I think the Westbrook signing is most important for one of the last reasons that you gave, Declan, is the depth of the potential that if Jefferson or Thielen gets hurt, that you've got a guy who, I don't know that you trust him completely, but he certainly gives you a chance there where if you have to plug in BB or BC Johnson, who probably showed that he's fine, but he's not great last year, I think that this provides necessary depth, which is a good thing. And so, the offense is prepared to cook. The question is the head coach going to allow it to? In fact, I did a preview today that focused on the wide receivers and Justin Jefferson in particular on SKORNorth.com that you can find because I'm doing a 7-part series leading up to training camp.
You just pump out content.
I'm a content machine.
It's the weekend behind the scenes, by the way, in the weekend statements. I'm Seltzer's in, and here's Judd Zulgad. Just videos.
Content machine.
Scheduling all these videos just for Judd Zulgad. It's a content machine.
But you know what? The premise of what I wrote was you've got Thielen, you've got Jefferson, you've got Irv Smith, all of these players who skill position-wise are really good. So the question is, are you going to be allowed to cook? Because if you are, it's going to be fun, and I think it's going to be a threat. But that comes down to one person, and it's not Clint Kubiak, in my opinion. It's Mike Zimmer. Is Mike Zimmer going to allow this team to open up and pass more? I believe the statistics I looked up yesterday, Declan Goff, where the Vikings were 27th, if I'm not mistaken, in 2020 in pass attempts, 8th in rush attempts. Are you going to get that? I'm not saying you're going to go to first, top 5 in pass attempts, but are you going to get that closer at least? Because if you don't, I don't know that the offense is ever going to cook like we think it can potentially cook. And also, you've got the players now, skill position-wise, to make that happen, comes down to one person, Mike Zimmer.
Yeah, I know Clint Kubiak might be he's just the puppet string guy, right? I mean, he's just there pulling all the Mike Zimmer strings, and Zimmer wants to be a run-heavy offense, but I'm curious to see where it goes. I am.
Yeah, because that would lead to my statement of don't take a pass if you're the Vikings. You get it? Don't take a pass on the pass. Have the gumption to at least allow Clint Kubiak and Cousins and this entire passing game to have more freedom to consistently move the ball around. Doesn't mean Dalvin Cook's not extremely important. Perhaps even get him more involved in the passing game. Don't be running on 2nd and 15.
Absolutely. You know what? We'll keep it here, by the way, on statements, Judd Zulgad. But you didn't have a Vikings one, I think, to start. But what do you think? Let's go. Let's hear from your first statement here. I know you were at all 4 Twins games, like an absolute psychopath
I'm not
over
doing
the weekend.
Twins. I'm not doing Twins.
Yeah.
In fact, you know what? I will give you a Viking statement. as they get set for training camp to start on Wednesday. I believe players report on Tuesday. We are right around the corner from the beginning of training camp. And you know what the beginning of Vikings training camp means, Declan Goff? It means that we need some type of controversy, some type of excitement. It wouldn't be the beginning of training camp if the Vikings didn't have something, a little bit of adversity, hopefully not too much, that they face. And on Friday, they got it.
Okay.
And my statement is, the Vikings don't need this. And we don't know if this is official or not. Our friend Courtney Cronin of ESPN reported that this move had been made, and then the Vikings came and put out a statement saying it's not made, but they acknowledge that there's an issue here. If offensive line coach and run game coordinator Rick Dennison really is out because he wouldn't get the vaccine, this is a distraction at a very late date before you start training camp that you don't need. I guess I would ask, if this is going to be official and Dennison is going to be gone, why this wasn't all handled, let's say, in late June instead of July, if they were hoping that they could talk him into getting the vaccine or what. But before and I saw tweets about, oh, who cares? He's not, oh, yeah, this is a bonus. It's good to lose him. All right. Rick Dennison was good friends with Gary Kubiak, who, of course, was the Vikings' offensive coordinator and was on the offensive staff for the last few years. Dennison is here because of Gary Kubiak. Ergo, I don't think it's a leap of faith to say that Rick and Clint Kubiak are probably close. And Clint, being a young guy, is going to need some sounding boards. Nothing wrong with that, right? Rick Dennison's title is not just offensive line coach, which is important too, but he coordinates the run game. Nobody loves the run game like Zim, right? So if you are now going to throw the run game coordinator overboard, which would be as much a league call or more so than a Vikings call. So this is not getting into the politics of the vaccine. This is getting into the reality of your offense, how it's run, and who basically has input. Rick Dennison being out now is a situation.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say it's not going to derail the season, okay? So I'm not trying to overstate it. But for those who were tweeting, oh, good riddance, I'm glad he's gone. This is not the type of move. Like if this guy was, I don't know, assistant special teams coach, I'd be like, okay, that's too bad for him, right? But we're talking about a guy, and by the way, Rick is an old guy, and Zim loves his old guys.
Yes, he does.
They're sounding boards. I'm just saying there's a lot that goes into this, which probably explains why the move was not made previously. My guess is somebody was begging Rick, because assistant coaches have to get the shot, essentially.
Right.
So, it's not like the players. But somebody, probably Zim, was begging Dennison to get this shot. But it just seems like an unnecessary obstacle to have to face days before training camp.
Absolutely. Well, speaking of coordinators and important people on the show that have to contribute and can't be away for a while, let's
back!
There he is. He's now back.
He's back.
Dude,
back.
you know what? Quick side rant here. All right, I replaced my modem in my studio here like a month and a half ago, and it's been amazing. Like literally zero internet outages for a month and a half.
Yeah, you've been good.
Until the beginning of statements. And I don't know if it's like the Vikings thought I was going to be negative with my first statement, and the Wolves came in and cut my internet line. It was going to be positive.
Good. That very well.
It's going to be positive.
You started to have some glitches, but I thought, oh, those will pass. And then you were gone. And then you were just gone.
Yeah.
You were gone. Hey, so my last statement, Phil, was the Vikings don't need this. And it pertains to Courtney Cronin's report on Friday, ESPN.com, that Rick Dennison, the offensive line coach and run game coordinator for the Vikings, is either out or possibly being close to out days before camp because he won't get the vaccine, which assistant coaches essentially have to do unless there's, I think, a health or religious reason, which he does not have one.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that this is going to derail the no excuses season.
Yeah,
but what I am saying is
I was in the green room for your take, so I definitely heard your take.
Okay, so days before camp, I don't think you need this.
I have a statement off your statement that actually sort of negates your statement, and it's presented by our friends at Burnsville Heating and Air. That's actually where I was. I had to go check out some of the new job offerings at Burnsville Heating and Air Conditioning.
Did you get $2,000?
I didn't get the $2,000 sign-on bonuses, but I hear that they're giving out up to $2,000 sign-on bonuses, full-time, year-round work with overtime opportunities. A couple listeners of Purple Daily have actually already applied and are having conversations. So get in. I mean, they've got openings, but you don't want our masses and legions of Mackey and Judd and Purple Daily listeners to beat you to the line here.
And
Burnsville Heating and Air Conditioning.
And they will never, ever suppress your service time.
No. No. Oh, sorry, we got to hold you down, Bob. But we we're going to pull you off that project over there. Work within 10 to 20 minutes of your home on job sites. Don't worry if you don't live near Burnsville. That doesn't matter. BurnsvilleHeating.com, click careers. BurnsvilleHeating.com, click careers. All right, so to your point, you're saying the Vikings don't need this with Rick Dennison. I'm going to say the Vikings' offensive line has been garbage under Rick Dennison, and honestly, it's not that big of a deal. And so here's my statement. Now that Dede Westbrook is in the fold, solidifying your punt returning and your third wide receiver, and now that the guy who has overseen an atrocious pass blocking unit is potentially gone, the Vikings have a chance to have their best offense since 1998 this upcoming season.
Wow.
The Vikings have a chance to average 30 points per game. They averaged like 26 points a game last year. They have a chance to average 30 points per game, maybe even score, I was going to say 500 points, but they have the extra game, so the math breaks down differently. But I am very bullish on this offense, and I don't know, like Rick Dennison, all right, dude, cool. Like, the ship keeps sailing without you.
Yeah, but why was this not done in June? Like, if you're going to have to get rid of a coach who's fairly important and you know that he's not going to get the shot, do it in June. I don't understand. My guess is they have begged him and continue before training camp starts to actually get the vaccine, and he has said no. But my point about why it's a bigger deal is run game coordinator, because the run game is good, and he literally puts in
Just give it to Dalvin and let your nimble it's the same system for the last 3 years. It's not like Rick Dennison's going to be gone and they're going to be like, "Oh my God, how do we block for Dalvin?" What do we do?
But you know who panics and hates change? Zimmer. And he loves to run. And the reason why both you and Declan can talk all you want about the pass game, and I agree, but until I see Zimmer take off the kid gloves from Kirk in the offense and Clint Kubiak now, I'm not going to believe it. Okay, you guys are right.
Then here's what
why do you think they're going to do it?
Hold on. You have left him puzzled for words, Judge Zolgad. That's exactly what happened here. As he's back. He's back. Wait, hold on.
I don't know what's happening here. I'm sorry.
It's Monday.
Just derailing everything.
It's Monday.
So put Rick Dennison in a hazmat suit. I know he can't have contact with players because he's a tier 1. Put him in a suit. Put him up. I don't know. Put him up in a corner office up in the TCO Performance Center, and he can draw up little run blocking schemes and submit them to the coaches that are going to be on the field. All right. He can still help scheme and watch film and all those things. And then other coaches who are vaccinated and approved can talk to the players about it. It'll be great. Here's another point. All right. If I were to have told you back in June, like you said, and all the Vikings fans, hey, Rick Dennison, the offensive line coach, is going to be out one way or another. Like, you don't know how it happens, but he's going to be out. Wouldn't most people have been like, how'd that guy still have a job? Like, they couldn't protect for Kirk Cousins for 2 years?
Yeah, but most people wouldn't have given the thought to this that I have this entire weekend about the fact that I'm telling you, I don't want Zimmer doesn't handle change well. And I don't want, and if this guy had nothing to do with the run game, I wouldn't care as much. But I don't think that you can put it on Rick that somebody made him start Dakota Dozier, because it certainly wasn't a coach that had any idea positionally. Somebody's like, oh, we got Dakota Dozier, he can start. I think that was an entire team decision. But the most important thing, single-handedly, the most important thing is Mike Zimmer willing to loosen up the reins? Because I am completely in agreement with both of you. This offense can definitely cook, and, well, that was pretty good. It can cook in many ways.
That's what I said.
But this offense has the potential. I didn't even see it coming. It has the potential to do a lot of great things if they allow it to. But that begins with Mike.
Yeah, let Kubiak and Cousins drive the car a little faster than 55 in the right lane. Right?
Amen.
All right, I think we're probably back to Declan here.
Mm-hmm. Yep. All right. My next statement is buckle up for one hell of a week here. Buckle up for one hell of a week, and it's across the board. The MLB trade deadline is on Friday.
Yes.
Vikings training camp is opening. The Minnesota Wild could be making a trade any moment. We're still on pins and needles waiting for that to happen. We're on the eve of NBA free agency also coming up. I saw Woj throwing out maybe even a Ricky Rubio to Los Angeles Lakers idea on a podcast the other day. All across the board.
It's great.
Offseason does not stop. We were built for reckless speculation lifestyle, but this is living in the moment. This is not even reckless speculation. We're at code red of pins and needles. There might even be situations
Reckless speculation
that we have to stop what we're doing and get ready to go. What is so damn funny? What is hilarious?
The reckless speculation back to back. Yes.
So yes, buckle up.
This
for one
week is going to be so much fun. I love this.
Yeah. In the sports talking head business, they call basically like the week after the draft until the start of training camp tends to be the dead period. But because of the way the NHL and NBA calendars have played out, everything is culminating right now this week, leading into training camp as well. So it's a blast. There's more fun things here. I'm going to jump in with my next statement. So I don't know if you guys saw the latest Packers drama. That's all going to play out this week too, it sounds like. So Aaron Rodgers and Davante Adams both posted the same Instagram picture. Jordan and Pippen, the last dance, right? Because they both, or at least Aaron Rodgers in group text threads with his teammates refers to Brian Gutekunst, the GM of the Packers, as Jerry Krause. And so the comparison, obviously, you got to compare yourself to two guys who won 6 championships, right? Even though Davante Adams and Rodgers have combined for none when they're together. But here's my statement. The Packers shareholders meeting is today, and it's going to be hilarious. Imagine being Mark Murphy and Brian Gutekunst, and you're going through the biggest professional crisis of your life, right? Mm-hmm. And you have to get up there and explain yourself to basically like my uncles in La Crosse, Wisconsin, right? Like, oh, man, Frank in Onalaska here. I got a question. What's happening with Rodgers? And it's like you legitimately have to stand up there and explain this crisis to the, 200,000 people that bought a certificate on Packers.com.
That's what you get for selling people a piece of paper. They so deserve this. This is going to be glorious because you know what? When you sell a piece of paper to a bunch of people who drink too much and eat too many cheese curds, and they have a feeling of, I'm an owner, this is what you get. A guy in a suit who's going to absolutely get his ass booed off that stage because we're the owners of the team.
Steve in Waukesha has a few questions about the way things have been operating this summer.
First, Steve has to puke, but right after he does, he's going to really get you with the questions.
Let's go to Sven in Appleton. Sven, what do you think?
There ain't no Sven in Appleton. It's Harry.
Bill. So
right.
I don't know, man.
You're right. It's going to be great.
Yep. All right.
Over to me?
Judd. Yep.
Okay. My statement is good for Gerson. Gerson Rosas, my guy, my Olympic-hating buddy. The Timberwolves this weekend, I don't know if you guys saw it, but it was a big story. Craw on The Athletic had a really big piece about it. The Strib and the Pioneer Press both covered it. Gerson stepped in and blocked Juancho from playing in the Olympics for Spain because he separated his shoulder fairly recently. He had rehabbed very hard, and Spain, it sounds like all the doctors are like, oh, you did a good job. Yeah.
So Spain's doctors are like, oh, yeah, come on over.
Yeah,
We'd
you're
love to have
fantastic. So he flew to the Olympics, and it sounds like the Wolves doctors also at least were on board with, he can probably play. And my guy Gerson stepped in and said, he ain't playing. No, come back here. You are. And it sounds like Juancho not happy. Spain obviously pissed off as well. But this should be done more often. You know what? We pay you, not your country. You want to play for your country, do it when you're retired from our team on your own time. I'm serious. Mad props to Gerson for doing what a team should do, which is saying, we're going to get you as healthy as possible to help us, not your country. And I don't care if this is the U.S. team, the Canadian team, or Spain. This is what I want to see more of.
I don't know. I'm a little. First of all, you're taking this way too far. I'm a little worried that Gerson just is alienating too many people around. So we've had longtime Wolves scouts, like I can't remember the guy's name, but like he's been a scout since the mid '90s, and he's like highly revered in the organization, and he couldn't come to an agreement to stay with the franchise. And Robbie Sicca, who oversees all of their medical,
the scout's probably not a huge loss, Phil. I mean, if he's been there that long, that's a lot of bad seasons.
Did he scout Indy Eby?
I was going to say, let's find out before we talk about it being a loss. Let's find out who he scouted exactly.
Oh, Will Avery, you guys, you got to draft Will Avery. He's going to be great.
I'm telling you right now, David. This Steph Curry, the game don't translate.
Yeah, he's too small. Too small.
Don't take him. Anyway,
and then this, like, I don't know. I think the handling of it, like, was there a better way? You green light him, you send him to Tokyo, he's ready to play, and then you come in. I'm going to be a little critical. He's a friend of the show. I'm going to be a little critical of the handling of this.
Gerson, I got your back here. I love it. Stop more guys from playing international basketball. Unnecessary.
I think you're in the camp of you would like to send guys like Hernan Gomez out there knowing full well that you're going to crush their dreams, but make it hurt more by flying them to Tokyo first.
No, I didn't want him going. No, I didn't want him going. And to be clear, despite the fact it is my favorite sport, I don't want professional hockey players shutting down the National Hockey League in February and going to the Olympic Games. I want to bail on all of this crap. Focus on your job. You know, I don't get done with my job here and go to CCO and moonlight. No more moonlighting.
I mean, you're welcome to if you want to jump in after Henry Lake or something.
No more moonlighting. No, that's my point. Save your best for when you're supposed to, for what you get paid for.
CCO would never try to poach our talent. No. All right, actually, can I jump in with a Timberwolves statement here real quick here?
Yep.
So there are two new names, player names on the NBA trade block, and the Wolves should take note of them, all right? Multi-talented big man from Toronto, Pascal Siakam, according to reports, is available to be had. I think he makes about $25 million a year. He can play defense. He's 6'9" power forward. You could probably play him at the 5 if you needed to, but he can pass, he can rebound, he can score a little bit, shoot a little bit. Really good player, energy player. And then Bradley Beal, there are reports that he is officially 3 years too late, probably, looking to demand a trade this week from Washington. And so Siakam could be a direct target for the Wolves in a trade with Toronto, depending on where Toronto wants to go, if they're going to go into more of a rebuild or because Kyle Lowry's a free agent too. It's kind of a transition period for them. Beal, not for the Timberwolves, but Beal as a catalyst to get a third team involved. If Washington trades Beal, it's basically them saying, all right, we're going into a rebuild. Then they'd be interested in draft picks, young players, Jaden McDaniels, whatever. I don't want to trade him, but like you could trade assets to the Wizards. They would trade Beal to the Sixers. Sixers trade Simmons to you. That's the makings of a 3-team trade now that the Beal thing is official. So this week's going to be, Declan nailed it. This week's going to be.
Oh, it's going to be, as the kids say, lit.
Yeah.
Yes.
Reckless speculation.
Yes, it will.
It's going to be dope.
Hashtag lit. How do you do, fellow kids? That's all good. That is it.
Buscemi, right?
Yeah, it is.
Hey, fellow kids.
More of a me thing, but yes, it is. It's very true. I have one last statement here from the weekend observations. It's I don't wait in line for bars, and we need to stop this type of behavior. To be completely honest, So Friday night was my friend's birthday. Met up with her and some other friends. We went to one establishment that had basically no one in it. It was great. We got there around 8 or 9 o'clock. The Twins game was still going on. It was great. Had a couple drinks. As the evening progressed, there was plans to go to 2 other establishments. And the 2 main establishments, I know from experience, always have significant lines to get in. So I
it's a non-starter for me, dog.
And politely said to my friend who was her birthday weekend, I said, if there is a line at one of these 2 bars, and it's significant, I'm going home. I live in this neighborhood. I'm 2 blocks. It's even a better situation for me. I had to golf at 10 a.m. on Saturday. Even I want to put myself in a good mindset. So I said, I'm not doing it. And she said, well, at least look at the line. We leave the first establishment. We go around. And this line had to have had, I'm not exaggerating, 100 people waiting to get in line, a block down. and I said,
and then
peace
it's
out,
like, okay,
I'm
so
gone.
there's not going to be a table open, right? You're just going to be standing
Right.
in there, jammed in like sardines. I'm with you
No.
on this. Congratulations,
No. Like-
Declan, becoming an adult over the weekend. It's great.
Like literally. I don't understand. I can do this at home. I can do this at other places. Why am I waiting in line to do something that is
getting
incredibly
old.
achievable?
This is good. You're getting old.
I just
Yeah.
You're
Yeah,
getting
so-
old
God.
and grumpy. I love it.
Wouldn't it have been more fun to just gather everyone who is going to be how many people were in the group here?
like 10.
Okay, that's
10
a
of
little
us.
more, but like you could in
Yes.
theory get 10 people, just go to someone's house and
I
just drink a
suggested-
couple cases of seltzer.
Hold on a
and-
second, though.
I suggested that.
10 people to go to a place that's got a line for like a party? What sense does that make? You can't talk.
Right.
You can't stand by. I mean, that's just stupid.
I agree.
Just tell them it's stupid. Call me.
You'll tell them that?
Put me on
God,
speaker.
I'm about to say,
what
you
you're
want me to bring
doing
them
is
to your house?
stupid.
Because I could do that
I'll
as
charge
well.
you. No, I don't want people in my house. No, don't bring your friends to my
Hey,
house. I don't want them
to
in my
bring my
house. I
group
don't
of
want them in
friends
my
to
backyard.
Judd's on a
No,
Friday
we got
night.
some young folks who have moved in next door, and they always have not like big parties, but they have
Oh,
friends.
no. Have you ever called the cops
They
on
sit
them?
in the backyard. That's a story for another time. So
Judd.
I got another statement.
Hold on. You missed the biggest part of Declan's
Yeah.
story. He's framing it up like he's being this responsible, curmudgeonly adult. Really, he just
Yep.
had to go golfing on Saturday morning. He probably had to go to PXG Minneapolis is what he had to do.
Yes, that's exactly what I had to do.
Go hit some of those Gen 4 clubs, best clubs the PXG's ever made. They've got clubs in different price ranges too, depending on where you're at with your game. And it's just a mecca. PXG Minneapolis, Southdale Center. Check it out if you are a golf fan. We had the event over the weekend in the Twin Cities. Cameron Champ rocking it with his third PGA Tour victory. But check out PXG Minneapolis and pxg.com/Minneapolis. All right, Dave.
Well, Dex, how'd you shoot?
The back nine again was a brutal. I need PXG to find me clubs for the back nine specifically.
I think you need to stop after 9.
specifically.
Just stop.
Back nine's all about mentality.
I could. It
It's
is,
all
man,
about
it is.
mental toughness. Yep.
That was a hot day, too. All right. Here's my statement to the Twins. It involves a potential trade that we did not discuss at the outset of today's show, okay? My statement is this: tempt fate. So I'm watching the Red Sox-Yankees game on Fox Sports 1 on Saturday, and they're talking about how the Red Sox, I believe the OPS of their first baseman, plural combined, is second to last in all of baseball. They need a guy with a little bit of pop. They need They need a guy who can pop the ball out of the ballpark, makes occasional contact, perhaps. They need Miguel Sano. That's right. I'm doing it. Make the call. And yes, I know what you're all saying right now. Oh my God, another big first baseman going to the Boston Red Sox. But you know what? It's a lost cause. He is a lost hope. I think trying to trade him is actually going to be tough because he's so bad now. But Boston needs to take a chance here. Boston needs a guy that can, pop fly. It's going on. Oh, right around Pesky's pole, opposite field, something like that. Make the call.
Sano has enough, he's one of those guys, he has enough pride where if things start going too badly, he jolts with a 3-week hot stretch. So you would definitely, there would be an ego prideful 3 weeks for sure, minimum, maybe even the rest of the season that you'd have to deal with.
Yeah.
But he's
okay.
not David Ortiz. In no way, shape, or form is he David Ortiz. So listen, if you can, not to mention, if you can dump that contract and open up a little bit more freedom for Byron Buxton,
This is why I would seriously try to trade him to a team like that would take a flyer, and why by Friday I would attempt to give Josh Donaldson away to do exactly that.
Before we say goodbye here today, so tomorrow it's who gets it, who doesn't. Let's just say I'm just now reading all the way through the Jim Polad Q&A in The Athletic.
No, it's not good, huh?
I think someone's going to make who gets it, who doesn't tomorrow.
I'm going to guess I know what he does and doesn't do. Hey, I got one more before we go. I hope the Olympics are going well. That's my statement. I hope
last
the
night was
Olympics
awesome.
are going well
Because
I haven't
they are
watched.
pretty well. They are doing
Because
good.
I haven't watched 1 second. I accidentally looked into, because there's shades were up. So I'm not a creeper. The neighbor's house, walking into my house after the Twins game, their shades were up, and I could see their TV, and they had like gymnastics on or something. I hope
You
the
knew what was on.
Olympics
You
are
knew
going
what
well.
was on.
Or swimming.
Wait,
I'm not sure.
Did you just say
Yeah.
you looked into your neighbor's house to watch women's
Well, I can see right.
gymnastics?
No. I said I'm walking up my sidewalk to go into my house, and I can see, and their shades were pulled up, and their TV's against their wall, so I could see right in. So I looked to my
If
left,
you're trying
and there
to sound
was,
less creepy right now,
and
it's
there
not
was
working.
no. I'm saying I ran away because I'm like, oh my god, I'm accidentally watching the Olympics. I hope
that's
the
why
Olympics-
you ran away, because you were looking, because you
I
were
don't wanna
actually
see the
watching the
Olympics.
Olympics. That was the first thing.
I'm taking pride in not watching
I'm peering
not
into my
watching this
neighbor's
thing.
household.
house. Yeah.
I may
I
or may
wasn't
not be
peering.
wearing. I may
I
or may
was
not be
looking.
wearing mesh shorts.
I was
and
wearing
haven't washed in a week.
I was wearing my chill boys. My chill boys were on. I was comfortable as could be, and there was the Olympics. And I thought, oh my God, I don't want to watch this. I'm purposely not watching the Olympics. I hope they're going well.
Good Lord.
Oh my. Oh man.
Oh my God.
Well, Judd
Well.
Zolgad, everybody, just hiding in the bushes, creeping around.
Close your shades if you don't want me to watch your TV.
Yep.
Do you close your shades? Your shades are closed?
Yeah.
So what would happen if you saw someone watching your? What if the shades were
No.
open? What if they were
No,
left
they're
open?
not open.
They're never open. There's no sunlight that ever comes into that
No,
house.
no, we've got shades that
You've
go
known Judd
up
long
or
enough.
come down. So we have the top half is but you can't see through that. The top half allows light in. The bottom half always closed because I don't want people looking in my house. Some kid knocked at the door 2 days ago, and Dawn's like, "Are you going to check that?" And I had to answer it, and he's some Excel energy guy. I'm like, why do you have
that
me
guy's a
answer?
fraud.
Never answer the door.
He should just be
I'm like,
emailing you. Yeah, that guy.
Yes,
that
I'm
guy's,
like, they're-
no, that
And
guy
she's
is
like-
for sure scouting a future
And-
crime on the block.
Yeah, and she asked me, I think her words are, what if it's a neighbor who needs some? I'm like, well then, do something else.
No.
Don't be knocking on my door.
What if it's a vacuum salesman? Hey there, sir.
Jehovah's Witnesses,
Oh, they're the worst.
kids selling candy. I don't want to buy your candy. Either set up an online operation or get out of the business, kid.
Yeah. I can't disagree with that part of it. The peering into the neighbor's house and watching.
I
women's
didn't mean to
gymnastics.
do it. I didn't mean to do it. I'm walking. I'm telling you, you can't avoid.
But you were hypnotized. You
The
could have
neighbor's
not
TV.
done it. You could have just
No,
said a half glance and then it would have stopped. But clearly you stopped and looked for a little bit.
No, I saw it. I'm walking up the sidewalk. I can see it the whole way. I never stopped. I'm telling you, I'm taking pride in not watching the Olympiad.
I bet you glanced twice. All right,
too.
that's a wrap on Mackie and Judd today. Who gets it? Who doesn't? Got a feeling Jim Polad's going to wind up in that
My
segment
neighbors
tomorrow.
don't get it. Close your blinds.
See you guys tomorrow. Oh, by the way, Daily Vikings Conversations, Purple Daily, too. Check those out.